You ever see a company so big, so powerful, so absolutely untouchable, just to fumble a film harder than Dopey, attempting to land a backflip? Because that's exactly what Disney just did again. Their new live-action Snow White remake was already a flaming mess of PR disasters, cast controversies, and fans swearing they'd boycott. But just when you thought the worst was over, it got even messier. From horrendous reviews to CGI so bad, it looks like it was rendered on a toaster, and ticket sales so dismal they make the dwarf's cottage look crowded. This has left everyone wondering if this might be one of Disney's biggest flops in years. So let's get into all the disastrous details. Disney is known for going all out. Big premieres, red carpets, screaming fans, over-the-top photo ops. It's kind of their thing. But Snow White's nah. They went quiet mode like they were trying to sneak it past everyone. Their premiere was so low-key, it felt like a birthday party no one RSVP'd to. This quiet approach was likely meant to dodge fresh controversies, especially since the movie's been dragged through drama for 2 years straight. No press Q&A, no interviews, just some cherry-picked influencers with suspiciously praising tweets like Rachel Zeglers shines. Visually stunning, bruh. Are y'all reviewing Snow White or Screensaver? Because I don't think the rest of us are seeing what you're seeing. But this was a clear tactic by Disney, almost like they were trying to patch a sinking ship with duct tape made of carefully picked compliments. But to make matters worse, Rachel Zeglers decided to call the 1937 classic old-fashioned, alienating fans of the original.
Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's...
On top of that, she made political jabs telling certain voters not to watch. Never a great strategy for a classic family film. So people suspected Disney wanted to keep her far away from reporters who might ask real questions. But then, to everyone's surprise, the select few who attended the premiere hopped on social media boasting about how magical the film was. They called it fresh and misunderstood, praising Rachel's performance. This sudden positivity clashed head-on with the wave of negative buzz that had been swirling for months. People started suspecting Disney's invite list was carefully chosen to shift the narrative from total train wreck to hidden gem. But then, the official review embargo lifted. Usually, if a studio is proud, they'd let critics talk days in advance to drum up hype. But Disney waited until practically the last minute. And once the broader critic community had their say, ratings tanked faster than a crypto coin after a tweet from Elon. The film scored around 45% from legit critics. Terms like awkward, soulless, a missed opportunity, and a massive waste of resources were thrown around like popcorn at a bad movie screening. Even the nicer reviews weren't exactly glowing. More like, well, it wasn't physically painful to watch. Which is not exactly the energy you want from a remake of one of Disney's most iconic fairy tales. But, in all fairness, the reviews seem to have climbed slightly to 47%, which is still dismal for Disney. This is likely due to all the original controversy surrounding the film, as the original story is literally called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But in this version, they said, what if there's no dwarfs? And replaced them with a group of diverse, average-sized people. The new characters looked like background extras from a Coca-Cola commercial, and fans were furious. So then Disney just slapped some CGI over it, like that would fix things. And to be fair, diversity is cool, but deleting a whole group that the original story revolves around, that's not inclusive, that's just confusing. And worse, some people in the dwarfism community even spoke out, saying,
Not agreeing with it. You're replacing jobs that people could have as little people.
Now, let's talk about the film's leading ladies, Rachel Zeglers and Gal Gadot, aka Disney's walking PR disaster. Rachel Zeglers' repeated statements about how the 1937 cartoon is old-fashioned and how her version would be more woke rubbed watchers the wrong way. Then she added a layer of political commentary that alienated chunks of the potential audience. Then there's Gal Gadot, who has her own political views that stirred up a storm online. Put the two of them in a press tour together, and suddenly Disney's PR team is sweating harder than Snow White after taking a bite of that apple. Critics pointed out that these controversies overshadowed the film itself. People spend more time dissecting the behind-the-scenes drama. It got so bad, they literally pulled back on letting Zegler talk in interviews. That's when you know it's bad. When your own star is the liability with a mic.
I'm a narcissist.
People concluded that if the film had been genuinely great, maybe watchers could have overlooked these controversies. But to make matters even worse, theaters are empty, like embarrassingly empty. People started posting seat maps from major theaters across the country.